A pitch that snaps bone mid-throw. The batter flips and lands forehead first. Umpire takes a fastball in the throat and keeps calling balls. These are real MLB moments that stun fans and change seasons. Stay with me. Some of these plays left scars that players and teams never forget. Royce Lewis, June 4th, 2023. Royce Lewis charged to beat out a grounder and collided with Cleveland first baseman Gabriel Arias. Flipped over Arias and landed face forehead first in a full somersault that replayed all night. Trainers rushed out, checked his neck and head, and he was taken for concussion protocol and scan. Team updates reported a forehead laceration, but no concussion. He walked off under his own power and was evaluated further at the hospital. The dugout went quiet. Even the opposing team looked shaken as replay showed him folding midair. The hit looked frightening because his neck bent awkwardly and the visuals stuck in fans' heads. Lewis's prior ACL history made the play feel riskier for his long-term outlook. Fans and media flooded social feeds with shock, and it only gets worse from here. John Lackey, April 6, 2013. John Lackey was back on the bump for a start when mid-delivery he suddenly grabbed his right arm and left the mound in visible pain. Cameras showed him clutching his biceps while trainers and coaches hurried out. Club later reported a right bicep strain and sent him for MRI and further tests. He was placed on the disabled list while doctors cleared him. He wasn't a career ender, but it derailed a comeback start, forced rehab, and added to fans' worries about his durability. The image of a veteran pitcher collapsing in the middle of a delivery is one that lingers. And for Lackey, it became another entry in a list of arm problems that cost innings. The next one's uglier. Keep watching. Brian O'Nora, August 18, 2013. During a tense big league game, a Franklin Morales pitch got past the catcher and struck home plate umpire Brian O'Nora in the throat protector area. He crumpled and looked stunned. Yet after a pause, he stood up and emphatically signaled ball 4 before staying on the plate. Trainers quickly examined him, and later reports show he had no long-term damage and continued to umpire. Still, seeing an official take a near-direct fastball to the neck and keep working shocked players and fans alike and underlined how dangerous the game can be even for non-players. Commentators praised his toughness and the quick medical response while viewers shared stunned reactions across social media. Worst visual moments coming next. Ramon Ortiz, June 2nd, 2013. Ramon Ortiz left the mound in tears after a pitch sequence where his elbow and knee appeared to buckle during delivery. He slammed his cap to the dirt in frustration as trainers rushed out. The team placed him on the disabled list for right elbow trouble after imaging and evaluation. Ortiz, a veteran, the moment felt heavier than a routine injury. Carried emotional weight, frustration, fear about long recovery, and questions about his future effectiveness. The on-air replays showed raw emotion, and fans and media reacted to the visible pain and anguish. While not a headline grabbing broken bone, this one hurt in a different way. It hurts a career's momentum and morale. The next hit is darker and more violent. Alex Cobb, June 15th, 2013. Alex Cobb was struck square in the right ear, side of the head by a line drive off Eric Hosmer's bat. Tropicana Field went quiet while trainers stabilized his head and neck. He was taken to the hospital for tests. The Rays reported a mild concussion and ear trauma. Cobb stayed under observation and missed starts while following concussion protocol. He had to be carted off the field on a stretcher. It was a stark reminder pitchers are extremely exposed when the ball comes back like a bullet. Replays and stadium reaction emphasized how fast and unforgiving those liners are. Fans and players expressed relief when updates said he would recover, but the visual was terrifying. Brace yourself for a gruesome one next. Josh Naylor, June 27th, 2021. Josh Naylor suffered a gruesome ankle leg injury after colliding with a teammate while tracking a fly ball. Replay showed a violent twist and immediate pain. Trainers and emergency staff tended to him on the field for many minutes before he was carted off and taken to a hospital for scans. Reports described fractures around the ankle, and the team confirmed he was hospitalized for treatment and evaluation. The sight of a player being carried off after a severe lower leg injury always hits hard. This one knocked him out of the lineup and required surgery or immobilization plans depending on scans. Fans sent supportive messages while the club updated recovery timelines as tests clarified the damage. Now we head to a legendary catch that came at a price. Ken Griffey Jr., May 26, 1995. Ken Griffey Jr. made a gravity-defying leap and crashed into the Kingdome wall to haul in a game-saving catch and fractured 2 bones in his right wrist on impact. He held the ball but paid an immediate cost. Broken wrist bones that put him on the disabled list and forced rest and rehab. The catch is still a highlight of bravery and sacrifice because he made the play despite the crash. Fans cheered the sacrifice while worrying about the injury's toll. Griffey missed weeks but returned to starring form, and the play forever sits in highlight reels as the classic great play that cost the player. Iconic and painful at once. Brace yourself. The injuries ahead get harder to watch, and if you're still watching, you're a real one. Drop a quick like so we know you're riding through the pain with us. Kyle Schwarber, April 7th, 2016. Kyle Schwarber and Dexter Fowler sprinted toward a fly ball in left center. Neither called off. Both collided hard, and Schwarber's leg twisted violently underneath him. He went down screaming and was carted off the field. Tests confirmed torn ACL and LCL ligaments, along with a severe knee pain. Cubs announced season-ending surgery and a long rehab ahead. It was a brutal blow in what was supposed to be Schwarber's breakout year. Months later, his comeback in the World Series became one of baseball's best redemption stories, but this night was pure pain, both physical and emotional, for him and every Cubs fan watching. The next one shows even legends aren't safe. Daniel Winkler, April 10th, 2016. Daniel Winkler threw a pitch, and before the ball even reached the plate, dropped to his knees, clutching his right elbow. The broadcast picked up a loud snap, shocking everyone. X-rays confirmed a fractured elbow bone, a brutal break that needed surgery and months of rehab. Winkler had already battled arm injury before, but this one looked and sounded career-ending. Trainers and teammates stood frozen as he walked off with his arm braced tight against his chest. He eventually returned to the majors, but his mechanics and career trajectory were never the same. That moment replayed in highlight packages for years as one of baseball's most visibly painful pitcher injuries. Now it gets even more brutal. Real bone-breaking horror. Tony Saunders, May 26, 1999. Tony Saunders, pitching for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, threw a routine fastball and his arm snapped mid-pitch. Spiral fracture of the humerus, clear as day on live TV. He collapsed instantly, screaming in pain, while teammates waved for medical help. Crowd went silent as trainers rushed in and carted him off. Doctors confirmed a full humerus break, and later, during rehab, same arm fractured again, ending his major league career. Reporters later described the refracture as one of baseball's cruelest repeats. His name still appears whenever people talk about the worst pitching injuries ever recorded. The sound of the arm breaking haunted fans for years. The pain doesn't stop there. It keeps climbing. Joel Zumaya, June 28, 2010. Joel Zumaya, the Tigers fireballer known for throwing over 100 miles an hour, delivered one pitch and immediately dropped to his knees, clutching his arm. His elbow had fractured. The bone literally broke on the throw. Slow motion replays showed the joint give way before he even finished his motion. Trainers rushed to him, but the damage was done. His 104-mile-an-hour fastball has always wowed fans, but that night, even the radar gun felt irrelevant. He missed the rest of the season, and though he tried to return, recurring arm issues ended his career early. Zumaya's injury clip spread across YouTube as one of the most shocking on-camera baseball injuries ever. Fans who saw it live said they could hear the pop. Power was never the same. Next, it's not a pitcher, but a face-to-face nightmare. Charlie Culberson, September 14th, 2019. Charlie Culberson squared to bunt when Fernando Rodney's 91-mile-an-hour fastball smashed straight into his right cheek. Went down instantly, motionless as the stadium froze. Trainers rushed in and he was carted off to the hospital. Medical reports later showed multiple facial fractures and dental damage. It was a chilling scene. Blood visible, teammates visibly shaken. The Braves announced he'd missed significant time, needing treatment for his cheekbone and teeth. It reminded fans of the Stanton incident years earlier, sparking debates about batter safety and face protection. Culberson's toughness and eventual recovery earned respect, but nobody forgets how quiet that ballpark got after impact. Now comes the most famous brutal face shot in MLB history. Giancarlo Stanton, September 11th, 2014. Giancarlo Stanton stepped up against Milwaukee's Mike Fiers. The 88-mile-per-hour fastball ran inside and smashed directly into Stanton's face. He dropped instantly, bleeding from his mouth and jaw. The crowd stood silent as players from both sides watched in shock, then began to clap as trainers stabilized him on the field. Stanton suffered multiple facial fractures and dental damage, ending his season immediately. Surgery repaired the damage, but the mental toll was deep. The next season, he returned wearing a protective face guard, visible reminder of that night. Fans and media flooded social media with concern and anger, calling for better batter protection. The scene became one of MLB's defining safety wake-up calls, proving even the strongest hitters aren't invincible. That's as real and painful as baseball gets. Baseball gives us home runs, glory, and heartbreak, sometimes in the same instant. These injuries remind everyone how much risk hides behind every pitch and swing. If you felt that mix of shock and respect, hit like, drop a comment, share this with your sports crew, and subscribe for more crazy moments.